Hello, hi everyone. My name is Muhammad Sabri. I'm working with the Proctor Gallagher Institute as a consultant. I'm teaching a lot of material of Bob Proctor, uh, the famous thinker in the world. We'll come to it. I will go through some of the slides and we'll discuss more about it. The reason for me today, I'm going to discuss about the magic word, which is mainly your attitude, our attitude. And the reason I selected, I believe this is one of the most behavior that we all need to have, especially during this pandemic everywhere. Because one of the things that I would be highlighting what Earl Nightingale mentioned, it is our attitude toward life which will determine life attitude toward us. So how our attitude to what is going on, it determines the life attitude toward us. So if we are feeling pandemic, feeling freaking out, and anxiety, this is all comes from inside. And this is where I will go more in depth to understand what is going on and how can I really adjust the right attitude plus the successful attitude that we need all to have. I already put for me a challenge, a 30-day challenge. I've been now in the middle way. In every day that I need to do certain tasks, this is will come to it at the end of the presentation. So let me share my screen. I will go through some of the information. I think you really, really enjoy it. And the nice thing about it is this is really powerful information. I hope you will enjoy what I'm going to share with you. So to start with, the magic word, the attitude is coming from this program called the New Lead the Field coaching program. This is my mentor, Bob Brocktel. This is Sandy Gallagher, his partner, and this is myself. We will discuss as we go more about giving more information, the importance of this, the magic word. So just to give slight background to the material I'm going to highlight and the importance. Here, the magic word, when we talk about the magic word, it is one of the first 12 lessons in the new Lead the Field coaching program, which is simply this program. It's a self-study program. I really like it, is how can you lead the field in the modern world? So in the modern world, you should have certain talents, certain skills that will help you really lead the field, whichever your specialty. So this is so powerful. The second, it explains the laws of the universe in a concise, personal, down-to-earth way, including the spiritual aspects of successful living. And this is what is nice in this program. It will go more in depth about the universal law where everything is running by a law. So that means whenever you take an action, you make sure that it will work per the law. And we will discuss again further as we go along. The last, it incorporates the power of repetition to make it easier and faster to burn this lawful information into your mind and how to be successful. So this is about the program. Just to give you, I'd like to give some background about the content of this program, which is the history of the content. Yeah, this is a pictures for me with my mentor, Bob Brocktel. This is part of our annual or maybe every 2 times a year, a meeting where we meet the close people of Bob Brocktel. These are the 2% consultants around the world. They've been have the privilege to meet and sit with Bob Brocktel to get a special teaching and knowledge. So now this content, what I'm going to talk about, it goes back to the late 1800s. So this is not a new material, but it is so rich. There was a man called Andrew Carnegie. Andrew Carnegie is was the CEO, the chairman, the owner of the Steel Corporation, the biggest U.S. steel mining in the U.S. in the late, let me say, 1800 and early 1900. This guy was so rich in a way that he was one of the top richest people in the United States. One day, there's a small reportman. His name is Napoleon Hill. Maybe some of you knows about it, but I will give the story. He was doing a research about how successful people become success. So he was doing like for his newspaper, he wanted to do a small article and research. So he was lucky to have an opportunity to meet Andrew Carnegie, the richest man in the United States. So what Andrew told him, hey, I think we can have more time to speak freely. Why don't you come to my house? We can spend a couple of days and I will give you all the knowledge, the information you want. So Napoleon Hill, at that time, he was so poor that he can hardly pay money to get a ride to Andrew's house. So he asked Andrew, hey, can you give me a lift so I can come over to your house? They sat, both gentlemen, for 3 days where Andrew Carnegie, he laid out all his knowledge, his experience, how did he make his fortune, what his understanding, his philosophy of success. At the end of the meeting, Andrew Carnegie proposed a project for Napoleon Hill. And he told him as follows. You know, now here in the United States, there are many successful people are making millions in the United States. When you look on them, it is not about the study. Some of them, they did not go to college. Some of them, they did not maybe finish high school at all. However, they're making a fortune, like Henry Ford, like Thomas Edison's and others. What? Because this is an important legacy that we need really to reserve, and people can learn from it for future. So I want to give you a project, and if you are ready to accept it, I want you, and I will be able to provide you with the following. I want you to study all these successful people that we have in the United States that made a fortune. Just try to come up with a system about success, how those people made success. What I can provide you, I will provide you with a recommendation letter and provide you for the travel expenses to cover your travel. But there is one condition, that is that you're going to spend maybe 20 years, maybe whole life for you doing that research. However, I'm not going to pay you a penny. I'm not going to pay you anything at all. So are you willing to accept that project? So Napoleon Hill, he gave him a 60 seconds. Napoleon Hill, within the first 25 seconds, he said, yes, I accept. So in order for Napoleon Hill to accept this big idea where he's going to spend all his life doing that research, now Andrew Carnegie gave him an affirmation, and it was a big affirmation. He told him, I want you to say the following. So I will rephrase it the way I understood it. He told him simply, he wrote down the following. Andrew Carnegie, I am Napoleon Hill. I'm going to be like you and exceed you in the fortune, whatever you have. So because it was a big idea, the first time Napoleon Hill started doing this affirmation, he did not believe, how come a poor reporter can be richer than the richest man in the United States? It's a long story, but the nice thing, Napoleon, he said, the first couple of days, it was really so tough for me that I can read that affirmation loudly, but I decided, yes, I want to do it. Then At the middle of the month, he started thinking, yeah, I think I can do it. At the end of the month, he started believing that he's going to exceed the fortune what Andrew Carnegie is going to do. So Napoleon Hill is a well-known about a book called Think and Grow Rich. This is one of the best seller books. This book had made millions of millionaire people who's making a fortune. And he has other books. He also had studied also why people are failing, and it's called Outwitting the Devil. It studied more than 5,000 people, the reason why people are really failing. Then Napoleon Hill, he mentored this gentleman called Earl Nightingale. This is the Earl Nightingale, the program I'm going to discuss today. And Earl Nightingale, he built up one of the biggest corporation personal development. And Earl Nightingale, he mentored Bob Proctor, my mentor, where Bob started working with him when he started working his journey for personal development. And I am really fortunate and lucky to be coached and mentored by Bob Proctor. So now let's go to the topic I'm going to discuss, which is really, really important for you. And I will be asking some questions because I really want you to think in depth, more in it. So, why do some people do so well in life? We look around us and you find just a few people are doing so well that you don't really understand what is happening, while so many more do not. And you will find out, I mean, only few people, maybe less than 4%, maybe 1%. I gave a lecture earlier that less than 1% of the people holds more than 90% of the whole wealth we have around the world. And these are the successful people. And you are wondering, I mean, you cannot say it's always luck. I mean, we said luck because we don't understand the reason why they made it. So the question why it is happening, what are those some people, the successful people, are doing differently than others? Simply, comes down to the magic word, and this is one of the great traits, skills they have it than others. The experts call it is the most important word as far as the results we get from life are concerned. And the word is that magic word is attitude. It is our attitude toward life which will determine life's attitude to us. So it's important to maybe to repeat, it is our attitude. It is not the other's attitude. It is our attitude that towards life, toward any other people will determine their feedback, their life attitude toward us. So what is attitude? People are saying many about attitude, but simply attitude is a combine of actions, feeling, or moods. So this is the attitude. When you ask, oh, this guy, he has an attitude problem. This guy has a great attitude. Simply, they have a special action. They are great attitude. They have do a special actions. They have a different feelings, vibration when you get in touch with them. And you will find out that our actions, feelings, moods, which determine the actions and feelings and or moods of others toward us. It's again, the starting point is you. It is not others, but mainly you. And which control our success or failure. So you need to watch out carefully. So what really control our success or failure in our life? It is our attitude. And I will explain more why it is like that. Now, as we said earlier, our attitude toward life, which will determine life's attitude toward us. So what does this mean exactly? So now everything we need to understand when I talk about the universal law, one of the laws called the law of cause and effect. And so that what does it mean? That everything we say or do will cause some effect. Let's say you did something, maybe took an action, say a word, so you're causing something from you, and that one will have an effect. So the effects or the rewards of our action will always take care of themselves. So whatever we put a cause, there will be an effect and it will be a reward. And this is why success can be guaranteed. So in a way, when I talk about why successes can be guaranteed, simply a good attitude, a good cause, a good actions, a good word, a good behavior will give you a good results. So simple like that. Fair attitude will give you a fair results. Bad attitude, bad results. And maybe you can notice in your life, if you deal with someone, you gave him a hard time, you don't expect that he will give you a nice words, that there will be a reaction. This is where we're saying cause and effect. So your cause was harsh, the effect, the return, you will get it, which you don't like. The law of cause and effect, why it is important when you understand it, it is one of the 7 universal laws. We will discuss later about those 7 universal laws more in details. So simply the law of cause and effect, what you send into universe comes back. You send good, good comes back. You send bad, bad comes back. You send fair, fair comes back. So it's simply an action reaction, and there is no mistake. Whatever you put, you will receive. So every effect must have a cause, and in turn that a cause must have an effect. It happens both. If someone had created a cause to you, either good or bad, immediately you will respond to it in an effect. So will be a response of that cause is being created. So you must concentrate more on the cause. And this is where all you can control is the cause you put to the word, and the effect will automatically take care of itself. So let's talk more about what is happening about Corona. If let's say, I was talking to a friend of mine, and unfortunately, he lost his job. So I was telling him, okay, what are you doing? He said, I cannot do anything because everything is locked down, blah, blah. So in a way, this is his cause. So nothing will happen to him. Then I started brainstorming, okay, what other causes he can do? While he is at lockdown, he can do something different, like maybe try to develop some skills, try to find, some online job, and where there is many. He can do many things while you are in lockdown. And because initial cause for him, that there is nothing I can do, the effect, immediately there is nothing I can do. Let's say his cause, yeah, I want to start learning something new. All right. So he's putting the cause, then he will start getting the effect, finding many courses online that he can learn from. So the law of cause effect, why it is important. This gentleman, Dr. Werner von Braun, he's the father of space exploration. What he said about the law of cause and effect. He said the natural laws of the universe are so precise that we have no difficulty building a spaceship that we can send to the moon, and we can time the landing with the precision of a fraction of a second. Everything, I'm saying everything in life is controlled by cause and effect. is just one of the laws. So that means if it comes with that precision and it is controlled, that means I don't have to worry much. But I need to worry more, that I need always to focus on the cause. So if I am putting the right cause, simply I will get the right effect. And this is when we said earlier that success can be guaranteed. We said each of us shapes their own life, and the shape of it is determined by our attitude. So if you read it, each of us shape their own life. So the way you want to shape your life, it is in your hand. It is not in others. It's not in your partner. It is not in your boss. It is not in your neighbor, whoever wants, your parents. No, it is, we have this one capability that we shape our own life. And the shape of it is determined simply by our attitude. The attitude we hold most of the time. We are having a good attitude, trust me, this is guaranteed by law. It's like the law of gravity. You throw a stone, 100% you know it's going to come down. It's not going to stay. This is the same law of cause and effect. You put the right cause, you put the right things, you will get back the right effect. Sounds simple. Yeah, I believe sounds simple, is it? Doesn't it? However, it is not quite that easy. And this is why we need to understand more. Yeah, we say it, but however, we don't do it. A person with poor attitude toward learning, for example, in school or afterwards, is not going to learn very much until they change their attitude. So, like that, my friend, when I told him about you go and attend a program, to develop your skills, he was doubting that one for some reason. He said, "Yeah, but I'm too old to go for these kids stuff." So, unless he starts changing his own attitude, he will never learn. It cannot happen, and you can take it on other stuff in your life. Same thing. If we take the attitude that we cannot do something, we generally will not do it. And you can find it in any of your colleagues, at work, at your family, your kids, whoever. If they initially gave you their attitude, yeah, we cannot do it, trust me, they will not do it. Nothing will happen till they change the initial point about, which is they change their attitude. So that we receive from life what we accomplish or fail to accomplish, in due to a large measure to our overall attitude. Again, it goes back to me and you. We have how they say, the starting point. We have the control to shape our own life. And this is what William James of Harvard School, he mentioned. Human beings can alter their lives by altering their attitude of minds. So if I want to change my life, simply I need to change my attitude of mind. Now, this thing is important. Why? When I said it is not easy, it is not easy. So this diagram, I will explain to make it so simple for you. So the top part, the big circle, I want you to consider your mind. Your mind is not your brain. Your mind in every cell of the body. And the bottom part, the smaller one, is your body. And your body, you will find that, is mainly simply an instrument of your big mind. So this is all the instructions comes to your mind to do, not to do, to change, not to change, and so on. Now, I will split the mind to two parts. One is, we call it the conscious mind, and the other is the subconscious mind. And the lower one is the body. The conscious mind is our thinking mind. And this is where we get all the information from outside. We analyze it, we do whatever we want to do about it, and we create more ideas, be creative. And here, as earlier said, that we have always a choice. We choose whatever thoughts we want to. And what is important, you will find out, nobody can force you to choose anything other. It is your choice. In a way, if the circumstances like what I mentioned about the corona, you don't think it's always a challenge, there are always opportunities, it is a choice. If you want to select, no, it is all bad, I lost my job, I am struggling, I cannot make money, blah, blah. So it is also a choice. So it all starts from here, and nobody can force you to do it. You can look always, I always tell people when they look on the attitude, look always for the good to whatever happens, because there is no bad. It is the way we make it either good or bad. This is how we perceive it. Now, many people who's been locked down like me, I'm now doing it from my home. This lockdown, for me, I can consider it's, I'm like sitting, I'm not going anywhere, what the heck I'm going to do? However, I start using, okay, what things I can do in order really to help me. And I use this diagram a lot to analyze when I'm not feeling good. I go through that diagram, trying to analyze my thoughts, my feelings, and we will come more in details. The second part is the subconscious mind. This is your feelings, where most of the feelings comes. And you will find out simply, this is where all your beliefs, your mindset, your habitual behavior, self-image values. So this is the important part, and simply 95% of your results are really coming from here. So whatever you try to do here, whatever you want to, let's say you always have a bad attitude. You listen to me, you get excited, yeah, I want to change my attitude. When I said it's not easy, because your programs, your paradigms, I call it, these are mental programs, we inherited over time from our parents, from our cultures, the environment we're dealing with work, because we kept accepting what other people are telling us. So we develop certain beliefs and habits and a mindset. So if you're not used to be in a good attitude, you need to change it. And I will mention simply the process, how we change that good attitude. So here it comes our mental programs. And the nice thing about it here, those subconscious mind, whatever programs we have inside, they operate by law. In a way, once you had built that belief inside you, you will make sure it will be running. To give a small example, people ask, okay, can you give us more what you mean about paradigm? And I said, it's simply like, if you have a meeting in the morning, or you have an important thing in the morning, either a meeting, either an interview, or whatever, and you know it is at 10 o'clock, you wake up in the morning, and at 10 o'clock, you find yourself, because your whole thoughts are on that meeting or interviews. If I ask you, what exactly did you did from the morning till you reach to the work, to the office, maybe you will remember, but you did not put any attention of it, because you're used to do these things. You wake up, you wash your face, you brush your teeth, you took a shower, you shave, you do whatever. Then you had a breakfast, you had some time with the family, maybe you drop your son or daughter to the school, and so on, and you drove to work. You drove all maybe for half an hour without thinking much, but you're just thinking about that important meeting. This is how these programs are there. This is one of it. Sometimes our beliefs about things, you know, and this is, we are always, the way we are raised is that we are always conditioned to think from outside. in a way, what happens outside, we immediately respond. And this is why I said, if you're conditioned always to look on from outside, this is a part of your belief that, yeah, whatever data I get from outside, they are totally accurate. So if you are a guy, like some people who are obsessed about just watching the media, most of the news are not serving that thing, especially, you know, the bad news. And this is why you're immediately impacted to what is going from outside. So this is when we talk about the importance of the subconscious mind. And when I said it is not easy, if you are not practicing and you have that habits of being in a good attitude, you can develop it. I'm not saying you cannot, you can develop it, but there is a process to it. Then this is our actions, and our actions will get us our results. So if I'm having always a bad attitude, so I'm causing a bad actions, so I should expect a bad results or a bad response. Now, how would I change it? Simply, I will just go through it in a simpler way. So I look, what do I want? The new results. For example, I want to be a successful person. I want to be an attentive listener. I want to be blah, blah. So you need those thoughts to keep it always in your conscious mind and start repeating it to your subconscious mind. And this is how we call it. This is how the subconscious mind starts accepting those new beliefs or habits. And by this one, it becomes part of your belief system. You will start doing it without thinking much. You will start causing the right actions, the right attitude, and you will get the new results. Now, one prerequisite to develop a good attitude towards the world is simply first you need to develop a good attitude toward yourself. And this is important. Sometimes we are so tough, so harsh on ourselves. Sometimes we don't like ourselves. And a challenge I can tell you, and it happens to me at one point in my life that I didn't like myself. And that simple exercise, if you can stand in front of the mirror and look in your eyes in the mirror and said, I love you, I like you, you are the best person. If you cannot tell it while seeing your eyes, that means you're not telling the truth. You want to bring up that you are the only one who can like you. If you don't like you, simply how do you expect others will like you? So the first, you need really to develop a good attitude toward yourself. You cannot give to others something you don't have. So simple like that. If you don't have it, how do you expect you're going to give it to others? Simply, it is the attitude I take toward myself which determines our attitude toward others. And there is a strange fact also when we are dealing with ourselves. And I really like it. This is why I put it there. Is the following. We tend to minimize that we can accomplish the goals we can reach. We always try to minimize what I can achieve or you can achieve. However, and for some equally strange reasons, we believe others. We look on others and say, oh, yeah, this guy, he's so great. He can do more. I think he's a successful person. However, we minimize what we can accomplish. So we believe others can reach heights which we cannot. And I'm telling you, what I'm talking about today, I was at one point, I was reluctant to do these Facebook lives or some recalls, speaking up to people. And I will tell you, if I can do it, you can do it. Every one of us can do it. There is nothing. We should not minimize ourselves what we can accomplish. We tend always to overlook the fact there is enormous underdeveloped potential within each of us. Every one of us has unlimited potential. Our mind is a mind power, really. Is that engine can create many, many things as you can imagine. And there is undeveloped potential within each of us, a great reserve of talent and ability, which we habitually fail to use. We don't use our own reserve, our own talents. We're always looking on others. They are much better than us. They are more successful than us. They are, and when you look at it, hey, I'm telling you, you have the same talent, the same skills, the same whatever the other guy have. There is nothing different. The only thing he did much better than you and me simply is that he start using those talents and start developing them. It's mainly about the use. And always say, if you don't use it, you lose it. You already have it. You need just to develop it. It's similar. All of these like our muscles. If I don't use my muscles, I will start using the energies to lift any weight. So this is when we talked about we always have a choice. This thought energy is always flowing, and it starts with our thoughts of becoming, let's say, an idea. So I want to have a good attitude. So that was need to fill all my mind, the thinking mind, my conscious mind, and these ideas start causing emotions. When I see, because I want to have a good attitude, I want to feel it. Those emotions, when they are filling all my body, you will see those start altering the whole every cell in my body, and I start taking actions in align with my ideas I have in my subconscious mind. And these are causing results, and the reaction, your action causes a reaction. So it's a cause and effect. It all starts from here. You need to start to choosing the right thoughts that really help you. If you're coming to a new task, you have a choice. Either you said you know for sure that you can do it. Maybe it needs some time, but I'm sure I'm going to do it. Or if the other choice, I'm doubting I will be able to do it. Maybe I don't have the skills. So you give all yourself a reason for not doing it. And it is an attitude. Anyway, it is your choice. You need to see which type of choices you want to have. You want to be on the positive or the negative. You want to be on the good attitude or bad attitude. So how to develop a successful attitude? Act toward the word everything and everyone with an attitude that produce the results you want. So you need to think before giving an action. Is this the thing I want? If yes, that means take the right action, because the response will come to you. And trust me, when I say givers gain, don't worry about much what will come back to you. In a way, you put the right cause, the effect will come to you. Maybe you do something good for me and I did not respond. Don't worry. I will pass that good things for other people, and maybe the other person will return it to you, or a third and the fourth. So because it's those causes is like an energy, it will circulate. At the end, it will come to its source. If the source was you, a good attitude, it will come to you. If the source, a bad attitude, comes to me, it will come back to me. So you need to watch out what the cause you want. And this is why I said you need to think about the results you want. That is, if the results you want is more success in what you are doing, act as though you are already in position of that success. So you need to think, yeah, I'm already having that success. I'm a rich man. I am a successful businessman. I am an owner of a company. So you need from now to start acting about having an in position of that success. Again, this is the sick person. This is, you need always to keep the results you want. Feel free, feel yourself with the results you desire. Now, attitudes of successful people, you will find out the top 5% people why they're different than other people. A person doing an outstanding job and getting an outstanding result has the right kind of attitude. So we need to understand really what the heck those top 5% people are really doing than what the average people are doing. These people, and this is one of the great things always, when they take an action, the attitude that they took toward themselves and expect the following. So two things they expect. There's more good of life than bad. So you look on the current situation. I know it's a pandemic, it's a big issues, but they look always, there is more good of life than bad. So in a way, this is why they force their thinking and start looking for the good in what is happening, how they can harvest more of the good to what is happening. And the second important thing is that to succeed more than they fail. So they know and they expect that they're going to be successful more than failing. They will do a few things, but it is 9 out of 10 of the things they do, they will succeed. They will succeed and be successful. So this is why this is their always attitude. They're always expecting good out of life, plus they're expecting to succeed. They don't doubt, they expect. Now I'll give you a 30 days test, which I already started. And this is the 30 days test is coming from those habits, the attitude of those 5% we're talking about. It is our attitude at the beginning of a task which more than anything else will affect its successful outcome. So you need always, if you're taking you have a task, at the beginning of the task, have the right attitude that you're going to succeed, no doubt. The second is, it is our attitude toward life which determines life attitude toward us. So how is our attitude toward life? It should be, this is the starting point. In a way, I need always to shift my mindset toward life. Yeah, there is more good than bad. It is our attitude toward others which determine their attitude toward us. So how you're giving the other person the importance, the attention that they deserve. And this will determine their attitude toward us. If before a person can achieve the kind of life he wants, he must become the kind of individual. This is why I said always, you need to think, okay, what type of person I need? You create the image of the person that you want to live. And based on that image, you start thinking more about him. How, this is when I said he must think, act, talk, walk, and conduct himself in all of his affairs as would the person he wishes to become. You want to become a successful businessman, professional. You have your own company. You respect others. You are a strategic thinker. You're doing a delegation, and you can build up whatever. That's great, but you should be acting as if that it is happening now. In a way, you're mimicking that image. And the actor's technique, they call it, it is imagined reality. And this is how you start creating and building the image in your conscious mind till it's become part of your subconscious mind. Number 5, your mind can hold only one thought at a time. And always, now you think, when you're listening to this, what is your mind can think? Can it think good and bad? No, it can think only one idea, one thought. So since there is nothing at all being gained by being negative, my friend, be positive. Just be positive. This is what you need to fill your mind. Don't waste valuable time forecasting personal problems. It probably will not help you and it cannot help others. You know, people sometimes unconsciously, and this is part of their own beliefs, their habits, they're always whining and whining and whining. Hey, you need to stop and notice that one, because it doesn't bring any value to you or the others. So why the heck I need to keep doing it? So this is something you need to stay away. Then number 7, radiate the attitude of well-being, of confidence, of a person who knows where he is going. This will inspire those around you, and you will find good things will begin happening to you. Last, treat everyone with whom you come in contact with as the most important person on earth. Everyone like his own self-esteem. Everyone like to be treated the most important person. And trust me, I like you, and I trust that you are the most important person because of attending and watching to what I talk. And I'd like to help people to give them as much as they can, because they can do more than what they are thinking more. So the exercise finally is evaluate your attitude toward yourself and others. Just write it down, toward success and your career, toward your life in general. Now outline ways in which your attitude toward your family could be improved. You need to think about, it's like taking an inventory. What is my current, what is my new attitude? And outline ways in which your attitude toward co-workers and others with whom you frequently come in contact could be improved. And last, list other attitude improvement goals. So this is a task for you in a way. Look on every aspect of your life, yourself, people around you, your co-workers, at work, the task you're doing, and so on. And put it like a list of attitude improvement goals that you need to focus on. Simply putting the right cause will give you the right success. And thing, so simple, but need practice. I like always this phrase from my mentor. He said, and this is why sometimes we don't invest much on ourselves, either taking some courses, or investment doesn't mean sometimes spending money. Investment is giving part of your time, your leisure time, that spare time, and invest it. You want to develop more yourself. And this is part of the investment. So if you don't invest, how do you expect really to win? I mean, how do you expect if you don't invest? Unless you want to be living a play of others, which we don't want anyone else to be like that. We need to be in control. And always, by this I conclude, Einstein, he said, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again. So we are always doing things, hoping things will change and expecting different results. This is a total insanity. So in a way, we need to change the cause to get a different effect, a different results. So I hope you enjoy the discussion today about the attitude. And trust me, I challenge you. I'm putting that challenge for me. I'm put it also for some of my friends. We're going through that exercise, that those 8 tasks for developing the new attitude. If you watch this one and start working on a 30 days challenge, send me at the end and I'll have a gift for you. All the best, and it was really enjoying time for me to discuss and share with you my knowledge. Thank you very much. Appreciate that.